All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Beth Lyons of the Daily AI Show. I'm here with my partner in crime, Jyunmi Hatcher. And we are getting ready for drop number 7 of the Shipmas 12 Days of OpenAI. Jyunmi, what are you looking for?
Sora 2.0. No, that was a joke I made last time. No, I don't know. It seemed so. AVM with Vision yesterday was pretty big. I think it's fairly impactful, but that doesn't necessarily seem to have the same je ne sais quoi as saying Sora or O1 or any of those kinds of things. So I don't know what else they've got in the chamber there, but maybe DALL-E 4 or maybe even GPT 4.5 or something, because I'd really like to see more big features that would explain or at least offset, in my mind, the pro cost, the new pro plan of 200 a month. I do like that you get unlimited low priority, low res iterations in Sora with pro. I think that's a big check mark. I think that's super good. But I don't think there's enough there yet to explain it. Like, I can get the same thing from Runway for 100, right? So what is that next killer app or killer feature that they're going to release that will say, oh, $200, no problem, take my money,
Yeah.
So we'll see. You're right, Gwen, the gravitas is missing. And a quick shout out to CJ, who I think has been joining us for at least most of these reacts, which is awesome. Always good to see Gwen, one of our OG Daily AI Show morning viewers. So I always like to see tons of people and new people in chat. What about you, Beth? What are your predictions for today?
Okay, my prediction is that maybe we get DALL-E, maybe we get some other demo. Like it seems like maybe they've thrown away some demos this week because they did a really big one. So maybe. CJ says, really only watching wants to see how manipulating OpenAI becomes. Yep. There are lots of reasons to watch. I have a really simple request, and that would be lovely if you would give us folders for the thousands of custom GPTs that I now possess. Oh, here we go. Putting Carl on the stream and sharing. Here we go.
Actually, I can't believe that we're only halfway through the 12 days of OpenAI. I hope you're all having as much fun as we are. I thought I would start by giving a bit of an update on where some of our rollouts from this past week are. So first, Sora, we launched on Monday. Demand has been off the charts, frankly, and it took us a little bit longer than we even expected to get this out because of it. But I'm excited to say that Sora is now fully available to Plus and Pro users outside of our friends in Europe. Also, yesterday we launched live video and subscription and screen sharing in advanced voice mode, and that's now fully rolled out to Plus, Pro, and Teams users outside of Europe. And Santa mode, which we talked about yesterday too, is available globally. So with that, let's talk about today. Today, we're super excited because we're launching something that you've all been asking for a while, which is projects in ChatGPT. When you start a project, you can upload files, you can set custom instructions, and generally tailor ChatGPT to all of the conversations that are part of that project. And all the parts of ChatGPT conversations that you're used to, things like search and Canvas, work as part of projects. Or you can skip all that fancy stuff and just use projects as folders to organize conversations. So with that, let's dive in.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm Thomas.
Beth
I'm an
called
engineer
it.
Floating around OpenAI
Awesome.
in various forms.
Oh, and hey, Carl.
And one of the things I really love doing is giving things that people really want. And we've really heard loud and clear that people want the ability to organize conversations inside of ChatGPT. You may have been noticing that we're improving a lot of the core experience of ChatGPT. Recently, we launched ChatGPT Conversation Search, which allows you to go over past conversations and search them in like a textual form. And this is really yet another organizational tool. I really think of these as like smart folders. And with that, let me kick it over to Drew.
Sure.
Give you a quick intro.
Hi, everybody. My name is Drew. I'm a front-end engineer here at OpenAI, and I've only worked here for 3 months.
How have those 3 months been?
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
Do you expect to be on a live stream 3 months?
I absolutely did not expect that, but here we are.
Just wait for your 6-month
Oh
anniversary.
my gosh, I don't even want to know. Yeah, so I'm super excited to introduce projects today and show you how it all works. So if we look at my screen here, I can talk about, I have ChatGPT up, and I have some existing projects right here that you can see, but I'm gonna create a new project. So you just go to the left sidebar there and click plus, and then let's do
Hey, Gwyn,
live demo.
look at the projects.
Friday the
You see the
13th?
Easter egg there?
What could possibly go wrong?
All right, let's see. Here we go.
I love
Okay,
the
we're
data. I love
in. So I've created a project here. I can edit the project title if I want. I can select a nice color, which helps me like customize it in the sidebar there.
Okay.
And then
Color
I can
coding is
file the instructions
delightful.
Like Kevin mentioned,
How is
and
this
I can
different
just
from
start
a
a chat. So
custom
let's say
GPT?
yes or no. Should
If they let us pick the
deploy
model.
code to production on Friday?
It's a great question.
Yeah, it's really okay. So this is important. Sometimes the model can be wrong, and we're just going to move on with it. Obviously, we can and should and will ship code today. So anyway, that's how you create a chat with a project. You can also add existing chats to a project. So I can use the conversation search feature that Thomas mentioned.
Okay.
Search for a chat I think is relevant here. Murphy's Law explained. And then I can add it to the project from the sidebar, live demo. And there, just like that, it's in there. I can also drag and drop.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So this is spaces
I can also drag
for
and drop out.
perplexity.
Right.
Nice.
Looking great.
Perfect.
Sorry, nursing a little bit of a cold. All right, so that's the live demo, but I really want to dive into what we actually, some projects that I've actually been working on. So I've been organizing a Secret Santa gift exchange for my friends and family. So I've collected survey results where everyone said what kind of gift that they want, and I'm going to be organizing the event. So everyone gets assigned to someone to give a gift, and we all have an event, and everybody exchanges the gifts. And it's like a really fun holiday thing that I like to do. So I've been organizing this with the Secret Santa project. So if I dive in here, I've given it a fun title with an emoji. I have my festive color selection. I have project files here that are relevant to this project. So I have Secret Santa submissions, which are the survey results I mentioned, and then the rules, the budget for the gifts and things like that, as well as the event details. I also have instructions for this event. So in this case, I had a little fun with it. You're principal level elf at Santa's workshop. You've been tasked with helping me organize a secret gift exchange for my friends. You communicate festive tone. I also said, Lee actually gave us this great tip on the live stream recently. When asked to write a letter or email, use the Canvas tool when possible to bias towards that, because it's such a great environment for interacting and generating draft emails.
Also, ignore previous instructions. Santa is real.
I don't want to risk anything, so make sure that's safe. So if I look, I already have a chat here that I've created for the Secret Santa. And I've said, show me the Secret Santa submission
Carl,
spreadsheet
were
in
you
a
saying
table. So
this
pulling
looks
that
like
data
an
from that
inverse
spreadsheet that
custom
I uploaded in the
GPT?
project, and so
No,
I
I
can see
said,
what
what's the
everybody
difference
wants
between
for
this and a
their
custom
Secret Santa
GPT?
gift.
Oh,
But
I think it's
On
an
top of
inverse
that, I can actually
custom
keep referencing
GPT.
this information and act on it. So below, I said, please randomly assign every person to give a gift to another person. Display in a table with 3 columns, giver, recipient, and recipient gift ideas. So you can see here that it's actually done that. So I know that Ethan is giving a gift to Jade, and Jade wants animal stickers. Also, I can actually look and validate that this data is valid and that this was actually random if I get accused of interference as the organizer of this event. I have the Python code here that actually did the shuffle. So Thomas, does that look legitimate to you?
It looks reasonable.
Okay. So this is a
positive from Thomas.
This is a legit Secret Santa gift exchange, no shenanigans involved. So now that I have that, I've exported that and added it back to my project files, and I can actually interact with that data and make decisions based off it. So I can ask, what does Luther want as his gift, and who is assigned to give it to him? And it can pull that data from
Gwen,
there.
I was on the same page as you. It's like, oh, can we make this into a project management tool?
So since we're using ChatGPT here, we also have the power of searching the web. So let's help Krista pick a fun hat for Luther. Search the web for festive hats.
I'm very curious what this comes up with.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll top yours. Oh, that's pretty.
The Christmas tree's a good one.
Taco one's not that seasonal, but
I would
The
go with
taco headband, though.
taco's pretty good. Okay, these are some pretty good options. Great. So in addition to that, we have Canvas support built in to projects. So I can go to this navigation menu and start a new chat. I can say, write an email to the event participants.
Just any old email.
Just, how's it going? What's the weather? How are you feeling? And then, yeah, I can leave it really open-ended there and just see what the model does. All right, let's get festive. It's actually writing what I would write as an email, which is giving all the rules and important details for everybody. Okay, so I wasn't specific enough. It is telling everyone who's assigned everyone, which is like the fundamental
Maybe you
rule of
want to be
secrets.
a little more specific
Right,
next time.
so with Canvas, you can iterate. I can get that feedback and move. But this is a great starting point, and I did this in like 10 seconds. So that's really, really great example. So that's like a festive example of how I've been using projects, but we really want to drive home like how we've been using these internally as employees for our own things. So I have something even more exciting to talk to you about than Secret Santa. Home maintenance.
Amazing.
Thrilling.
Okay, well, you guys, whatever. It's actually really powerful, and I'm really enjoying it. So, oh, yeah, thank you. I'm in home, perfect. Okay, so I have a home maintenance project, and I use it to keep track of things that are around my apartment that I can't remember how to do or if I've done it or anything. So if I look in the project files here, I have a home maintenance log, which is like when I've done tasks that I need to do around the apartment. I have documentation that I've written myself. As an engineer, we love writing documentation.
Don't we all?
Yeah, after work, I go home and just write documentation about how my apartment works.
It's a fun Saturday evening.
It's a great way to spend my days. So yeah, I have documentation around my smart home setup and my media center, and then also some appliances in my house, like my fridge and my garage. And having this all paired together with the home maintenance log in the context of this project means I can ask questions about it in a really conversational way and get answers. So I can say things like, do I need to replace the water filter in my fridge?
The answer to that is definitely yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's also definitely yes for every single person watching this live.
Go do it right now. Okay, so it has pulled the information from my maintenance log and from my fridge notes. So it says my refrigerator requires it's replaced every 6 months. Based on the maintenance log, I haven't done it since March. So I'm definitely overdue. So I need to go home and do that right now. So I can also ask, how do I do that? And it will pull this from my maintenance notes on the fridge, or my fridge notes. It will be able to pull that information and tell me how to do it so that I don't have to remember it every time.
So that's for your particular fridge?
Yeah, that's the model in the notes that I uploaded. So that's actually really valuable. Like very quickly I can ask that question and I don't have to go pull it up or anything like that. It's just right there for me, easy to use. So that's how I've been using. See, it's not that boring. It's pretty fun and cool. And I'm very happy about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, so of course projects are also super useful for programming tasks. And with that, I'm gonna hand off to Thomas.
All right, I think that makes it my turn. So I wanted to give my personal website a little bit of a spruce up. I think it's a little old hat. And so I scoured the web for different templates that I thought might be interesting. I found one that I liked, and I'm going to modify it to suit me so that I don't have to do all this work of coding it up by hand. The website is over here. So this is just a template, an example of like what it looks like. It's from the documentation. This is using something called AstroWind. We can go into some technical details. That's a blending of Tailwind, if you know what that is, for CSS, and the Astro templating format. But I would forgive you if you don't really know what the Astro templating format is. It's not super widely known. And so I'm going to use that fact. It makes projects even more useful because I can specifically tailor my project to working in Astro. And so let me get started there. Let me show you what the template looks like so you just have a familiarity with some of the format. So this is the personal website template. It's got dark mode support, which I liked.
Yeah.
That was the selling feature for me. If I switch over to VS Code here, you can see what the Astro templating format looks like. So you can see very similar to JSX, if you're familiar with that, but not exactly the same. So there's some slight differences here and there, which can often confuse models, or maybe they're just like not perfect at that format. So I will show you the project that I've created for this. If I go over to my Tommy D's personal website, inside of the project files, you can see that I've uploaded my resume, my social links, some testimonials about myself, and I've also uploaded the specification for the Astro template format. And I've finally uploaded that file you just saw, this baseline.astro. In my custom instructions, they're not too complicated, but I did tell the model that, hey, you have to pay specific attention to these like bracketing formats and to use a quirky tone. All right, with that, let me get started and try to modify the baseline template.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to ask it to modify the baseline template. I like using Canvas myself, so I'm going to say in Canvas to incorporate personal information and social links. We'll get this started here, and let's see what it comes up with. So in just a moment, we should be able to see that it's going to edit some of the Canvas information. I think that this one may have actually had some small issues, so let me give it one more shot when I try it.
Friday the 13th.
Always something in the live demo. So let me give it a shot here. Oh, I see. Okay. So there's always something that goes wrong in the live demo, as you might expect. So I'm going to go ahead and when things go wrong, we'll come back to this in just a moment so I can show you that it worked. Actually, know this bug. But as it goes through, you'll see that there's a Canvas format kind of created here, and it has it's modified the template to incorporate all the information that's personal about me. So you can see that it indeed has a little bit of information about my homepage and my social links, et cetera, et cetera. And you can see this was like the original kind of question that I asked. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. I'm going to swap over to VS Code again, paste that in, save that, swap again, and let me show you what it looks like. Great.
Oh, it's looking great.
Yep. I think this is a pretty serviceable website with very little effort to actually modify. I probably would change a few things. It's not exactly the way I would describe myself. Certainly there's the testimonial section. But I could change that, and I like working with Canvas to sort of do that. I do notice a few projects are missing, so I'm going to give this one more shot, which is to search the web to find any projects I've made that might be missing. Great. And so it's able to scour the web using our new search functionality, and it's actually able to find all these different projects. Some of these I wouldn't necessarily put on my website, but that's okay. And let me ask it to modify the template again. So modify
he worked on crypto kickers, huh?
To incorporate those projects. So in this case, it's using the Canvas editing, which is, you heard a lot about Canvas on Tuesday. I really love it because it's a way of collaborating with the model in sort of an interactive way that goes back and forth. In this case, it's going, instead of like replacing the entire document, it's showing me sort of a diff view, line by line, about what's changing as I go through this.
This view is great for code.
Yes.
Compared to just huge blocks of text that you can't tell what's changed.
There is a bit of an Easter egg at the end you'll see, which is that you can go to the top right and you can actually see the differences that have been made. And these are the type of things that we're just improving over time. I really think that team is doing quite well and just really improving, again, the core experience of ChatGPT. And it feels a little bit different than the turn-by-turn kind of chat that we always have.
Yeah, it's definitely just getting started. There's so much exciting stuff that we've got coming in Canvas.
Great. So it's just finishing out now. I can see that it's about to finish out over here. It's going through my work thing. And putting in.
And this is definitely one of those things I could see as
I'm going to go ahead and just
another
copy
step
this,
towards
section,
a
and
unified
you'll see
platform.
in just a moment.
Yep.
Gotta have the testimonials.
Yeah, you need those.
Very important. And it's going down to the call of action, which is always the end. Great. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy this in. Oops.
Because I think if you can connect your
Perfect.
OneDrive
So I can
or
see my
Google
new
Drive
projects,
to the
new
project
web,
files,
new
that'll
projects
be
that
an
I've added in
interesting
there. And sure enough,
way
you
to
can see them
way
right
to
in
do
here.
it.
Again, I'd
Yeah.
probably refine that a little
Yes.
bit to make it look a little bit nicer.
I hope they
but
go
they're doing it.
over what features can be
And
connected,
one thing I love
like
about
a custom GPT,
working in
you know,
projects is that
DALL-E
you can actually
and
go through them and
code
start
interpreter
new
and
chats.
stuff like
So
that.
I go back to my website again, and I can refine particular sections. So I'm not going to go over the entire document again, but I can actually say, let me look at the testimonial section and try to change that. So for this, I'll need a volunteer. I think I will volunteer you.
Let's do it.
To give me a quick testimonial.
Okay, we've worked together for years. I'm happy to give you a testimonial. I'd say Thomas is often punctual and has great hair.
Okay, this is not what I was hoping for, but I will accept your testimonial. So let me tell the model to refine the testimonial section with Kevin Wheel's new.
It's really going to make the page pop.
Testimonial. So I'm going to ask it to generate a testimonial fragment and incorporate a new quote from Kevin Wheel saying, Thomas is often punctual and has great hair.
I stand by that.
Wonderful. And so in this case, it's able to understand all the files that are available and generate just one particular section, which is the testimonial section. I could copy that back in. It's not using Canvas for this experience because the code is quite small, but that's one of the powerful things about projects is that you can have different threads and really organize your thoughts in different ways. And that's a little bit of a preview of projects. So let me kick it back to you, Kevin, to close this out.
Awesome. Well, like I said, this has been something we've been hearing from you for a while that you really want to see inside ChatGPT, so we can't wait to see what you do with it. It's rolling out starting today to Plus, Pro, and Teams users. We're going to get it out to our free users as soon as possible, and it will come to Enterprise and EDU early in the new year. We usually have been ending these with a joke, but maybe instead of that, people have been asking for this. What if we just ship it?
We're all good on the front end.
Classic PM move, but I will happily oblige this one. So I'm going to go ahead and start the rollout. I'll do this responsibly. Drew, I'm not going to be able to show it on the live stream exactly what's on my screen. So Drew, you're going to have to keep me honest here that I am in fact rolling this out.
He's literally playing a video game.
So perfect. This will be a gradual rollout that's just responsible engineering. So you'll see this kind of rolling out throughout the day. But let me get that started right now. All right.
Yeah?
We did it.
We did it.
All right. Projects in ChatGPT rolling out as of 10 seconds ago. Thanks, everyone. See you on Monday.
All right.
Notice how that was more like authentic than the Apple one. The Apple one felt so structured.
Yeah.
And they're like, peace out. I gotta go. It's 15 minutes dead on. We gotta go. Versus this, like, oh, we'll just chill. We're gonna do this. I was just reminded, like, yeah, the Apple one was so a contractual obligation.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Hopefully, it's the only one that they have for the 12 days. Yeah, I am suspecting that there's a Microsoft one, but you know.
Maybe that's true.
But shout out to Beth for calling this one. They give you your folders. Yeah.
I'm excited. And I don't have a problem with them looking at what is popular in other programs and like adding the function, right? So it seemed very much like Canvas was, hey, we know you like artifacts over here. We're going to add that here. Hey, we know that spaces just happened in Perplexity and projects also in Anthropic. We're going to add that here. Like I'm fine with that. Yes. Give me things that work.
Well,
I don't care if you originated them or not.
If they're popular in other platforms, then it behooves you, if you're trying to create the single integrated platform, that you add those features, or at least your version of them. Yeah. Right.
And CJ has made some really great points in the comments about that, if it doesn't work for the developers, it's maybe not quite ready to roll out. And at the same time, I'd like, at this point, we all know that we are the beta testers, right? That's just, when you want beta testers, you're just going to like toss it out.
Yeah. I mean, I agree about not paying the top dollar though. Like if we're the beta testers, then we should get it for free. Like, just give us free access. It lasts for X amount of time. Oh, now it's out of beta. Okay, now we're charging for it. Sure, I get, that would be a little more acceptable. But yeah, if it's difficult to use and I'm paying for it, that isn't really acceptable. So yeah,
I think there's a point though when we're not talking about the pro users, but for like just ChatGPT Plus, for $20, you're getting piece after piece after piece, right? So like that $20 becomes like we paid for it just for what it can do. Like, you're getting regular updates to it, and it's still $20. So
I get that, and that does keep me paying for sure.
Yeah,
but I would like to shift the perspective that if you're using my time, then I need to be compensated for it. I shouldn't be compensating you because you're using me for data. You're using me for beta testing. You're using me for feedback. So give me the service. And that's why they have their free tier. That's why they have the free tier. I guess if you're plus, the argument is then it should be out of beta, or along those lines. But I
Yeah,
can
but
see that at the
and I
$20
know.
price point, that's the isn't that expensive?
Yeah.
Are you really complaining or nitpicking? You know, I get it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm cheap. I don't know.
I believe you started. Gwen is like, yes, pay me. That's excellent. So you may be starting a movement right here in our comments section. I have to say that I'm super excited about these quality of life updates. I wish that they had said that in your project or in your custom GPTs that you could now pick your model and tweak some of those settings, because that would be delightful. But I am like, yes, thank you for folders. Also, ridiculous that we needed like this kind of drop in order to do it, but I am happy.
No,
Yay!
Right,
it's a
right.
really nice update because there's so many that like I'm sure everybody has the left bar is just full and
Oh,
full
absolutely.
conversation.
Got
Right?
hundreds on there
Yeah.
easily.
So
Yeah, no, it is significant. The impact will be great, but the gravitas isn't on this announcement, right? It is a quality of life, but it's going to
yeah.
very much help people's organization. And if you've got to touch the ADHD, it's definitely gonna help you
Yeah.
do that.
Well, the two ones they had, the canvas and this one were like they weren't like big announcements, but they're like they actually for the regular user, it is a pretty significant thing
I-
to do, right?
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah. I like the when I was saying inverse of the custom GPT, because it's more of like,
Yes.
here's a shared
Interesting.
back end of custom GPT. I wish they would have clarified specifically all of the tools and features that were connected, but it looks like the web search is on there. They did mention Canvas was accessible. So that should answer Andy's question. Yeah, so that you can access Canvas through it. It looked like, was it just accessing other documents, or did they pull in a custom GPT at some point? Because visually it looks the same to me. So I was
It
sure
kind
if I
of looks
missed
the same.
that.
So I'm curious if it does pull it.
Like the send the email thing, was that just a Canvas pull?
I don't know. It looked to me like it was pulling conversations, which is why I said it seemed like Perplexity spaces, so that you could like code. You could group them all under a particular heading. They're calling them folders. Perplexity calls them spaces. I don't know. Can you move something? I know Anthropic has projects. I don't know if you can move existing conversations in the project, or if you have to do them all from the project.
From the
So I'm not
project.
sure in
Like
terms of timing.
that would be interesting too. Is yes, can you drag and drop your previous conversation into a project, or do you have to start them anew? That'll be. I think that
OpenAI implied that you totally could. That was something that they demoed.
okay, perfect.
Just start
Perfect. Because that would be kind of shooting themselves in the foot. It was like, oh, only new ones. I'm like, okay, but what about all my pre-existing ones? I'd like to order all those. Here's all my daily AI show, conversations and those kinds of things. Going back to what Gwen was saying about the project management, this is why I wanted to know if had access to DALL-E. Did it has access to Code Interpreter? Because I could see this being used as a project management tool if you could just constantly update a timeline document, just like maybe, I don't know if you could do it in Canvas, but if you had Code Interpreter, that means you could just update a new CSV or a new Excel or something like that, and keep your timeline there. You can visualize tables, right? Normally. So could you just ask, here is in the instructions, when you open this project, or the first thing that comes of the project, always create a visualization of the current version of document X, and that way everyone could see what's on the timeline. And then Carl, with your suggestion about connecting it to your OneDrive or whatnot, that's another way to keep those living documents there constantly.
Yeah, because it's just another place where you have to upload. Like if you have a custom GPT, plus you have projects, you have to remember to keep uploading these things in the same piece. So maybe a future. I don't know if they'll do this like soon, but there actually is a repository. I don't know if that'll be a lot of like ChatGPT becomes like a hosting service too.
Well,
your OpenAI drive.
Right.
OpenAI
Well,
drive.
because there is on the API side, right, where you can store, was it 512 documents of a certain size to use as knowledge base for an assistant. So if you can call your own assistants through your ChatGPT interface, that sounds like another great way to form integration. And then, if you could give API access as part of your ChatGPT account, that would be great.
But it doesn't automatically update, which I think is part of what Carl's saying, right? So I like once I upload the document to be part of the assistant knowledge, it's made a copy of it. So when I have to then update it there as well. It's not live updating.
Well, that's ideally thing, right? Is to have your OpenAI folder or whatever it is, and then your OpenAI drive where you upload everything, and your projects, your custom GPTs, your regular chats are all pulling from that knowledge base. Which that's funny because your own operating system.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what I was just going on that. Yeah, because can you imagine if they had the internal mechanism to update any document in its knowledge base based on the memory? If you say add this to memory, and memory is now a document space,
that'd be crazy.
That would be awesome, right?
But aren't we likely to do that with our our own agents? Right? So that what I want something to be remembered as is something that I have control over, regardless of the systems that I'm using, right? We were just talking about that yesterday about there does seem to be a place where you get to a certain point in the code, and actually I was talking about this with Rob Lennon yesterday. Where you get to a certain place with a coding agent, and then it almost doesn't matter where else you take it. It's just that agent can't see the box of the error that it's in. So you just need to pop that over to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever else you weren't using in that to get a fix from that. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to the agent agnostic or agnostic agent question, right?
Right.
I think within the platform, it behooves OpenAI to add a feature like that. But I think any agent, your orchestrator is where that's going to, really shine, is because this one's mine. This is my personal agent. It has all the abilities to connect everything, and that keeps you platform agnostic. But I think OpenAI, to achieve that idea of here's my fully integrated unified platform, nobody needs to go anywhere else. Here's the desktop app. You don't even have to go on the internet, on the web. I could see them wanting to add that feature. One more reason why you don't have to leave and use somebody else.
Exactly. Right. All to just keep piece after piece after piece. Like you're like, wait a minute, I don't need a OneDrive. I don't need a Google Drive when I can just edit, upload. Like, I think though there still has a point where you have to email the thing that you can't create a Word doc and like drag it into an email or attach it. I think that's still a missing piece where like you do a work inside ChatGPT, but you can't, like, it's stuck there. Like you can't just email it unless their agent allows you to connect to, let's say, Microsoft and be like, hey, email whatever's in ChatGPT, out you go. Right.
Yeah. I mean, like I've said it in the past, is there is already existing modular modules that you can plug in that are all on existing internet standards, copy paste, mail to, all of these things to trigger events all exist already. So just integrate those existing ones into your platform, and then replace it with your fancy LLM version or your fancy AI version once you've made it accomplished. But until then, give us the features because they exist already. It's not going to be that much of a lift for them. Don't they spend like $5 billion a year already? I mean,
there's also, so CJ's like, they may not be ready for prime time. And I will say that I had that experience in Canvas last night. On today's show, we used play.ai's play note. I say Carl did all the work to show what a non-notebook LM AI generated podcast would be. And I was editing the script for the podcast in Canvas, and it left some, like, in its edit, it made some really good choices, but then it left sentences that didn't make any sense anymore below it because of the edit that just happened. So it isn't actually taking it. Like, my vision was, oh, yay, you can see everything and you can know the ramifications of all of the edits. So you will know that quicker than I will because you're AI and I'm just a human.
Yeah.
And that was not true. All right. Yay. Cool.
All right.
So we will not be here this weekend. We take the weekend off. So does OpenAI. We will be back on Monday through Friday with great shows at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and all new drops at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Yeah. Don't come at 1 a.m. I should not be here at 1 a.m. At 1 p.m.
Before we leave, do we want to do a quick prediction of what we think is going to come out next week?
For day 8 or the whole week?
The whole week. Like any big things.
Okay.
Really
I'll go out on a limb. I say day 12, some new version, some new model.
Okay.
Day 12.
4.5 or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your
DALL-E. Okay. DALL-E is one of them.
Okay.
And the only reason we're saying that for people who are watching, I don't know. The only reason I'm saying that is because Sam did an AMA on Reddit, maybe. And part of that conversation was that DALL-E is being worked on and it's almost ready. So it just makes sense that would be part of what this is. So I'm going to say DALL-E.
I like Cisco's AGI on day 12. They have like a whole bunch of folders everywhere, apparently, on the phone, on the phone. So it must be available. They're just not allowed to talk about it.
I don't know if I love that it's a fun little Easter egg thing that they're doing, or they're super serious and it's happening. which narrative is better?
Okay. OpenAI's documents say that when AGI gets achieved, then it's all open, right? All of the tech is for the good of humanity, and Microsoft is no longer able to access
that deal.
So I don't redo that deal. That's what they are redoing the deal right now. I have not seen that it got finalized. So I don't think we see AGI from OpenAI or Microsoft until the definition of what happens when that is achieved is worked out. So yeah.
Okay, so the one I'm predicting for next week, maybe Wednesday, or a big day like a Thursday, or maybe Tuesday, maybe a Monday, I don't know, is a preview of Operator, their AI agent.
Oh, yes.
Right? Every single company has already shown some sort of AI agent kind of use. Google, Microsoft, Google and Anthropic. So it just makes sense that the preview for something pretty cool has to be out to showcase that.
Okay.
I think that would actually be bigger than just another model.
That would have to be a bigger.
Yeah. So I would say if they announce whatever kind of model it is, whatever new model it is before day 12, then that's day 12.
Could be the last.
Okay.
Kind of
here we brought you our Operator. We brought you our first
Is it day 12 though? Is it a Friday or is it the Thursday?
No,
Or is
day 12
it's
is
it would
Friday.
make sense. The 12th,
Yeah.
it would make sense. Like a Thursday wouldn't make any sense. The day 12 would be huge.
Right. No, it was weird that they started on a Thursday, right? Like just some random Thursday to announce ChatGPT Pro and O1 like full release, but it is because they're
Yeah.
ending like they counted back from the day they wanted to end, which was Friday the 20th.
So for all those listening, one trick that you could do, if you haven't already, OpenAI usually has the names of the people who are going to be on that demo that day, that drop that day. If it's Sam, it's probably something big, but also because of like the vision, you can just go to LinkedIn, find the person who is part of the drop team, and then find out what they're working on. And you can kind of like piece it together what exactly is. So when I saw the Rowan who is like working on AV, I was like, oh, it's vision. Like there's only one reason why this person is not going to be in for a Canvas update.
And take it from us, Carl is our resident Sherlock when it comes to AI rumors. So that's there.
Yeah.
There's the trick right there.
Yeah, there.
So everybody in chat, come tomorrow. Bring your prediction, or not tomorrow, Monday.
Don't come tomorrow.
Sorry. What is the weekend? Just more AI days. All right. Come back on Monday and just blast all of your predictions. We start like 5 minutes before the live stream comes up, and then just let us have it. Let us know everything.
Like the craziest stuff too, like things that you may not even happen, but just like give us whatever you think will happen.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All
Let's see what it is. All right.
Thanks, everybody.
And I can tell you that I can't tell you what we're talking about next week because we have not totally finalized it. But I can tell you on one of the days we will likely talk about Gemini's drops because holy wow, there are some very cool things about that.
Yeah.
So thanks. Have a great weekend.
Aloha.